Hello guys, welcome to i-tutor Academy. In today's session, we will start with the selection test on 6th chapter on MMPC 002. So let's see what is selection test. A test is a sample of an aspect of an individual's behavior, performance or attitude. It can also be a systematic procedure for comparing the behavior of two or more persons. What's the purpose of this test? The basic assumption underlying the use of test in personal selection is that individuals are different in their job related abilities and skills, and that these skills can be adequately and accurately measured. Tests seek to eliminate the possibility of prejudice on the part of the interviewer or supervisor. Potential ability only will govern selection decision. The other major advantages is that the test may uncover qualification and talent that would not be detected by interviews or by listening of education and job expenses. So what are the type of tests? The various tests used in selection can be put into four categories. First one is achievement or intelligence test. Second is aptitude or potential ability test, and the third one is personality test. After last, it's the interest test. These tests and what they measure are described below. So achievement or intelligence test, this also called proficiency test. These measure the skill or knowledge which is acquired as a result of training program and on the job experience. These measures what the applicant can do. These are two types. First one is test for measuring job knowledge, and second one is work sample test. And the next one, aptitude or potential ability test. These tests measured the talent ability of a candidate to learn a new job or skill. Through these tests, you can detect peculiarity or defect in a person's sensory or intellectual capacity. These are of three types. First one is mental test and mechanical aptitude test and psychomotor or skill test. And the third one is personality test. These discover clues to an individual's value system, his emotional reactions, maturity, and his characteristics mood. The test help in assessing a person's motivation, his ability to adjust himself to the stress of everyday life, and his capacity for interpersonal relations and for projecting an impressive image of himself. And the personality tests are basically of three types. First one, objective test, project, and second one is projective test, and third one is situation test. And the last one is interest test is there. That is fourth category. These tests are designed to discover a person's areas of interest and to identify the kind of work that will satisfy him. The interest tests are used for vocational guidance and are assessed in the form of answers to a well-prepared questionnaire. Limitations of selection test. From the basic description of test described above, one should not conclude that 100% prediction of an individual's on the job success can be made through this test. Tests are useful when the number of applicants is large. Moreover, tests will serve no useful purpose if they are not properly constructed or selected or administered. And precautions in using selection test. The test result can help in selecting the best candidate if the following precautions are taken. Norms. First one is norms should be developed as a source of reference on all tests used in selection and on a representative sample of people on a given job in the same organization. Second is some warm-up should be provided to candidate either by giving sample of test and or answering queries before the test begins. Third one is test should first be validated for a given organization and then administered for selection of personnel to the organization. Each test you should be assigned a weightage in the selection. And last one is the test scoring, administration and interpretation should be done by person having technical competence and training in testing. And next one is interview. We shall now discuss the post-application form interview and not the preliminary interview. Personal interview is the most universally used tool in any selection process. What is the meaning and purpose of this? An interview is a conversation with the purpose between one person on one side and another person or person on the other. An employment interview should serve three purposes: obtaining information, and second one is giving information, and third is motivation. It should provide an appraisal of personality by obtaining relevant information about the prospective employee's background, training, work history, education, and interest. And the type of interview: informal interview, this is may taken place anywhere. The employer or a manager in the personnel department may ask a few questions like a name, place of birth, previous experience, etc. It is not planned and is used widely when the labor market is tight and you need works very badly. A friend or a relative of the employer may take a candidate to the house of the employer or manager where this type of interview may be conducted. And next is formal interview. This held in a more formal atmosphere in the employment office by the employment officer with the help of well structured question. And next is planned interview. Patterned interview is there, non-directive interview, depth interview, stress interview, group interview is there, panel interview is there, and interview rating. What is interview rating? Important aspect of personality can be categorized under the following 7 main categories: physical makeup, attainment, intelligence, special attitude, interest, disposition, circumstances, etc. Limitations of interviews. Interviews have their own limitation in matters of selection. Some of these are mentioned below. Subjective judgment of the interview may be based on his prejudices, likes, dislikes, biases, etc. One prominent characteristic of a candidate may be allowed to dominate appraisal of the entire personality. The interviewer's experience may have created a close association between some particular trait and a distinctive type of personality. Some managers believe that they are good at character analysis based on some pseudo scientific method and are guided by their own ability at it. And qualities of good interviewers are: a good interviewer should have the following qualities: the knowledge of the job and or other things with which interviews are concerned, and emotional maturity and a stable personality, sensitivity to the interviews, a feeling and a sympathetic attitude, and extrovert behavior, and considerable physical and mental stamina. And the guidelines for improving interview: not all interviews are effective. Their effective can be improved if the following points are kept in mind by the interviewer. An interview should have a definite time schedule with the ample time for interview. It should not be hurried. The personal approach should be avoided. Interview should have the necessary element of privacy. The interviewer should listen carefully to what the applicant says, and the information collected should be carefully recorded either while the interview is going on or immediate thereafter. And next section is physical examination. Applicant who get over one or more of the preliminary hurdle are sent for the physical examination either to the organization's physicians or to a medical officer approved for the purpose. A physical examination serves the following purpose: it gives an indication regarding fitness of the candidate for the job concerned, and it discovers existing the disabilities and obtain a record thereof, which may be helpful later in the deciding the company's responsibility in the event of workman's compensation claim. And third one is it help it in preventing employment of those suffering from some type of contagious diseases, and it help in placing those who are otherwise employable but whose physical handicaps may necessitate the assignment only to specified jobs. Okay, so physical examination covers, there is a list of this, so you just go through the material in IGNOU MMPC 002. So reference check is the last one, and the applicant is asked to mention in his application the name and address of three such a persons who usually know him well. These may be his previous employers, friends or professional colleagues. They are approached by mail or telephone and requested to furnish their frank opinion without incurring any liability about the candidate either on specified point or in general. They are assured that all information supplied would be kept confidential, yet often either no response is received or is generally favorable response. The final decision of an applicant who cross all the hurdles are finally considered. If there are more persons than the number required for a job, the best one. Those who with the highest score are finally selected. Okay, so let's see the summary of this chapter. This unit has helped you to follow the process of the selection in an organization right from the conception of an idea that suitable person is to be put on the given job to the point of ultimate selecting the most suitable person for it, putting him at ease and making him feel at home with his fellow employees, his supervisor and the organization as a whole. So it has helped you to understand the various activities involved in the process and the order in which these are carried out, and it has given you insight into the various alternatives and methods of various activities and under what circumstances each is advisable. It has also helped you to realize the various precautions to be taken so that your effort under each activity bring desired result. Okay, so there is some 4 questions are there, self-assessment questions related to this chapter. You just go one by one. The first question is, what do you understand by recruitment? Explain the process of recruitment. We already discussed in last video. You just go through that and discuss critically the various sources of recruitment. Explain the various type of tests used in selection process and what are the objectives of interview. Describe the process of interview. Okay, so this is we discussed today's video. So you just answer these questions. If you have any doubts, you can contact our contact number also, or you can comment it on comment box. So thank you so much.